How to heal a nostril piercing, coming up next on Aftercare Instructions by a Piercer, episode number 5. So stick around. For those who are new to the channel, my name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I operate the Axiom Body Piercing Studio located here in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. So when I talk to you about these things, I'm talking about a level of expertise that comes from being in the body piercing industry for well over 26 years. So what we're going to talk about today is, or I'm going to talk about, because this is a one-sided conversation, is how to heal a nostril piercing. This is the aftercare instructions I would normally give if you came in and got a piercing by me, a nostril piercing. However, during COVID, because we're limiting contact, we're generally referring people to watch videos and just giving you kind of some basics. First off and foremost, when you get pierced, you should get one of these or something similar. This is written instructions on how to properly take care of a piercing. It will usually include the size of the jewelry, the style of the jewelry, and what it's made out of, and also who did it and when it was done. The other thing you're going to need to pick up at some point is sterile saline solution. I suggest Nelmed's Piercing Aftercare, this stuff right here. Most piercing studios will sell this. Some of them include it with your piercing cost. If you can't find that, or if they don't offer this, another option is this stuff. Wound wash. You can find this at Walgreens, Walmart, Target, large drugstores, etc. Basically, and I believe there's an affiliate link for this stuff in the description. How do you use it? It's pretty simple. You take it, if you're using the mist style, the piercing aftercare style, just spray it directly onto the piercing area, let it stay in contact, roughly about 5 minutes till it gets to the point where it kind of melts off, or all that discharge and everything else, and then wipe it clean with a sterile piece of gauze sponge or a clean folded up paper towel. If you're using the wound wash, this stuff, it comes out a pretty powerful stream. I think you can hit a man at 20 paces with this stuff. So generally what I suggest doing is applying it to a clean paper towel or sterile piece of gauze sponge and then applying it to the piercing area like a compress, letting it stay in contact for roughly about the same period of time, about 5 to 10 minutes, then wiping the area clean. Of course, you can always rinse it under running water in both cases, but that part you want to do twice daily for at least the next 8 weeks or until you stop seeing discharge collecting and depositing on the jewelry. And those piercing holes, the piercing hole will get that kind of indented or ingrown look to it. If you look at any healed piercing on your body, including your lobes, you'll notice they're not flat. They kind of tuck inward, and that is what we are going for. Whenever in doubt of whether or not the piercing is healed, see your piercer. Have them take a look at it. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to take a look and go, yes, you did a fantastic job, or that needs a few more weeks. Next thing up is cross-contamination prevention. Common sense stuff your mom should have taught you. Wash your hands before you handle it. Try to handle it by the ends whenever possible. The only time you need to have any contact with that piercing is when you are doing the saline. The rest of the time, leave it alone. Do not spin it. Do not rotate it. Do not touch it. Leave it alone. Piercings like that. They're like your older sister who doesn't like it when you poke her. No oral contact or exchange of bodily fluids on near around the piercing. That does include your own saliva. Do not lick your fingers and clean it. No, that's gross. No. Keep your environment clean. Clothing, bedding, towels, anything that may come in contact with it, you do need to clean on a regular basis. A way to get around changing your pillowcase every single night is take a clean, soft, comfortable t-shirt, put it over your pillow, sleep on one side, then flip it over, sleep on the other side, turn it inside out, sleep on one side, sleep on the other side. That way you get about 4 whole nights out of it. You can also use that with ears and other things. Do not submerge the piercing in bodies of water you cannot control the quality of. Now let's think on that. What can you not control? Swimming pools, hot tubs, lakes, rivers, streams, ocean, any natural waters whatsoever. What can you really control? Your bathtub. That's about it. So do not go swimming until this piercing is completely healed. Keep the pets away from it. Don't let them sleep in the bed with you, especially if they're small animals that like to sit next to your face while you're sleeping and steal your breath and are attracted to shiny objects. Keep cosmetics away from the area, especially powder-based or foundation makeups, until it is completely and utterly healed. If you use anything that comes out of a spray can or a squirt bottle in your hair, shield it with a folded up paper towel. Also make sure that if your hair is long enough to come in contact with the piercing, that it is dry before it does so. Do not sleep on the piercing. I don't care how good it feels. I don't care how it doesn't hurt at all. Constantly rubbing and agitating that piercing during the healing process is going to cause issues. It is abusive, and it will cause problems. Also, do not spin, rotate, or move the jewelry during the healing process. There is no benefit to this. It is only going to lead to problems. Do not use hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol, witch hazel, tea tree oil, and all the other things that people tell you to. There is no reason for it. If you get an infection, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but most of that stuff is way too harsh for a healing wound. Jewelry. Leave that piece in that it's initially pierced with until it is completely healed. After it's healed, you can take it out and replace another piece. However, you do want to leave something in it at all times, roughly the next 2 to 3 years, only taking out to replace. Understand that even if you had the piercing for 15 years, if you take it out and leave it out long enough, your body will always reconnect that tissue and close that piercing. So it's a good idea, if you like it, leave something in it. If you are pierced with a nostril screw or L-bend, you may want to go back to your piercer within 3 months and have it adjusted and tightened so that it's not quite so loose. Also, during the healing process, you want to be very cautious when you're washing your face, drying off when you get out of the shower, and changing clothing. They can get caught, flip out on their own, and be very uncomfortable to get back in, or land in the most disgusting thing near you and make it a situation where you don't want to put it back in. Gross. So what should you do if you think you have an infection or other problem? First thing you should do is contact your piercer. Have them take a look at it. Or contact your medical professional and have them take a look at it. If it is infected, it may require medical attention. The two things that you do not want to do is put off getting it taken care of, because it's only going to get worse, possibly turn systematic and spread. The other thing being removing the jewelry. A lot of people have this misconception that if they take the jewelry out, everything goes back to normal. The problem with this thinking is how your body heals infections and what happens when you take the jewelry out. Your body heals infections by pushing infected tissue and fluids out of the body, usually through the wound, then replaces it with healthy tissue as it pushes it out. When you take the jewelry out, which is the only thing keeping the piercing open, often the piercing holes will seal shut, which could always possibly trap that infected tissue and fluids inside your body, leading to an abscess or cyst that will require medical attention, including possibly having it lanced and drained. If you leave the jewelry in, it allows a natural drainage point for the infection, or not a natural one, an unnatural drainage point for the infection. It usually makes it also a little bit more treatable. Another thing you don't want to do is use any antibacterial ointments, creams, salves, etc. without your piercer specifically telling you to. I know it's really easy to run to the medicine cabinet and start pulling out everything you can possibly think of and throwing it on there, because you don't want to deal with going to see the doctor or going to see your piercer. You're afraid that they're going to be mad at you because it's infected. Don't do that. A lot of those products are not designed for puncture wounds or deep wounds. It's only going to make matters worse. What should you do if you feel like you've contaminated the area? It's not infected yet, but you feel like it might be if you don't do something. Clean off the area. Take a mild antibacterial liquid soap, something that doesn't contain any moisturizers, fragrances, or any other additives. Regular soap can work. It's going to do better than not doing it. And what you do is rinse off the area under running water. Take a small amount of that soap, squirt it into the palm of your hand, about a pearl drop. Lather it up well so it's diluted, and then gently apply it around the piercing area. Let it stay in contact for roughly about 30 seconds. Then rinse under running water. This should help to kill off any contaminants that are in the area. Just monitor the area for a while. If it doesn't show any signs of infection, you're out of the hot zone and okay. If it does, contact your piercer or a medical professional as soon as possible. You have the piercing. What could you expect in that first 3 to 5 days? You're going to see redness, discolorization, heat tenderness to the touch, inflammation, off and on, anywhere, like I said, for 3 to 5 days. This is a natural reaction to the trauma that was caused by the piercing. It is normal. When I say tenderness to the touch, what I'm talking about is poking it, touching it, moving it, bumping it. All of those things, if it causes pain, is your body saying, leave me alone. Don't do that. So don't do that. Don't test whether or not it hurts anymore by constantly poking it. First off, your hands are probably not that clean to begin with, which means you can cause an infection, and you're just hurting yourself and causing trauma, which can prolong all of these signs. Whenever in doubt of any problem, issue, what have you, get in contact with your piercer. They'll be happy to answer any questions, problems, concerns that you may have. Like for me, I always include all my contact information on every piece of literature that comes out or goes out or I send with clients to make sure that you can get in contact with me fairly easily if there's an issue or a question. Well, that's all I have to say about healing a nostril piercing. If you feel like I missed something or you brought up some new questions that you would like answered, go ahead and comment. I usually answer the comments if I have time. If you liked the video, found it informative and useful, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it because I like it when you like it. If you haven't subscribed, why not? Please subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time we post something new. Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I personally hope to see you for your body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care of one another, and thank you for watching.